Hey beautiful people, I'm Fara Brown and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are good and I hope you guys are doing amazing. Thank you to all my returning subscribers who have clicked on this video today, and thank you for always continuing to show me love. I don't know what's going on. We're on a standstill. The subscribers hasn't gone up. The views seem to be going lower and lower, but you know what? At the end of the day, one day I'm going to look back and I'm just going to be like, you know what, Farah? I'm so glad you sticks it out. I'm so glad that you never looked at the amount of views and got embarrassed or anything like that, but you kept on pressing on. A lot of people who made it today, a lot of the greats that we see today, they were persistent, they were consistent, they kept pushing. Even when the results wasn't there, they kept pushing, they kept believing in themselves, you understand? And we talk about them because they followed the following that I just said. So yes, I believe that one day people are going to use me as an example to say, you know what, I remember when this girl had so-and-so subscribers. I remember her view count was horrible, like nobody wasn't checking for her, but look at where she is today. I believe that for my life. Anyway, without saying too much, let's get into today's video. Now, for those of you that follow me on social media, follow me on Instagram, you guys will know that I started off by putting up quotes on my Instagram account, and I was pretty consistent, I do say so myself, but along the way I kind of stopped that, and here and there I do post quotes up. I also post up motivational quotes on my Facebook as well. Yeah, so they are motivational quotes, and I would like to say they're inspirational / encouraging posts, because sometimes I do maybe do a paragraph or maybe a 1-2 liner or 3 liner under the caption to explain further what I'm saying in my post. However, this week actually, and I wanted to share this with you before we get into the video really deep, because this is what encouraged me to speak to you guys today. So I wanted to just give you a bit of a background as to why I'm talking about what I'm talking about, but obviously you will see from the title. Yeah, so earlier this week, and I probably feel like this was on a Thursday or Friday, I sat down and I was on my phone, and sometimes, you know, I don't really make use of WhatsApp status or whatever, or is it WhatsApp stories? I think it's WhatsApp stories, but I actually did a WhatsApp story and I got a lot of responses back, and I was like, oh wow, I must not be the only person that's feeling this type of way if everybody's, you know, more or less responding to me and just encouraging me and also saying, you know what, hey, I'm in the same situation, I'm in the same boat, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. So I wrote this. When you're ready to make a move, but God is like, wait, it can be so frustrating. I'm trying to understand the wait, because presently it doesn't make sense to wait when everything is pointing into the direction of move. But then again, who am I? If God says wait here, there must be a reason. In saying this, what gives me reassurance is that there's no mistakes in God. So what seems to appear to be the right decision may not work out in the long run if I act now. I then went on to say that He is the master planner. And when I'm talking about the master planner, I'm talking about Christ. I'm talking about Jesus. I'm talking about my Savior. I'm talking about my friend, my homie, my daddy. He's the master planner. He's the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. So that pretty much is safe to say that He knows everything. And if there's one thing that I know that God cannot do is lie. And I believe that's in Numbers 3:19 or Numbers 6:19 something, or Numbers 23:19. It's Numbers 23:19, where it says that God is not a man that should lie. And I also said that, so until it's time, let the waiting commence. I just pray that God gives me the grace to do this gracefully and joyfully, because deciding to do what God wants you to do, especially when you had no desires of doing it in the first place, can suck. And it's so true. Honestly, this is where I found myself earlier in this week. Some of you may know, some of you may not know, because I've not made really much of an announcement, to be honest, because I sometimes just like to be private like that. But I am going through a life change, and there's a lot of decisions that I had to make, and you know, I was praying about all these decisions that I was making and everything like that, and certain things was happening that made me feel like, okay, you know what, I need to move right now. I need to act on this thing right now. Do you understand? And a couple times within the year, I've heard this word that, you know, I need to stay, don't move yet, blah, 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 this, that, that. And I was just thinking to myself, oh my God, this is so frustrating. I have this A, B plan, C, D, blah, blah, blah plans that I need to do, that I want to do, because it's actually a part of my life, it's happening. And then on the other hand, I'm hearing that, okay, you know, this is what God wants for you to do right now. But at the same time, it's just like, okay, how will I be able to do the two? There is a way to do the two, but I just don't want to do the two together. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the reason why I said I didn't want to do the two, and I know this may sound confusing because I just don't want to put out all my business out there, do you get? But the reason why I didn't want to do the two is because, let's say this is A and let's say this is B. So B is my life and A is a part of my life. That's been an amazing part of my life. That's also been a huge influence in my life. However, there's been certain things that have just been happening, that I've been experiencing, that just makes me feel like, this is causing me hurt. This is causing me pain. This is causing me to just not feel safe anymore. This is causing me to just feel like I gotta go. Do you understand? And I wrote this on my WhatsApp story because I was thinking like, oh, okay, all these things that are happening with A is pointing me into the direction of saying, okay, B plan is looking hella good. B plan is always going to happen regardless. Do you understand? It's looking hella good, but I'm ready to have a fresh start with plan B and just do what I got to do. Do you understand? But sometimes I'm learning that, you know what, sometimes you can have your plan, but that doesn't mean that your plan has to be executed right there and then. It doesn't have to be executed right this minute. Do you understand? And that is what I was struggling with earlier this week. Something my pastor said, and I really, really appreciate that she said this actually. She said it today. No. She didn't say that. It wasn't her. Sorry, it was Charlemagne. Charlemagne the God. Yes. On the Breakfast Club. He said, so don't make permanent decisions on temporary feelings. And I thought to myself, wow, that's a word there. Do you understand? Could it be, Fara, the reason why you're saying that everything is looking in the direction of point B to just be executed right now is because of what's going on with A? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Could it be because you felt hurt, you felt disappointed, you felt, you know, stabbed in the back, you felt all these kind of feelings, do you understand? That's making you say, okay, you know what? Let's just go fresh start. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that is a temporary feeling. Yes, I'm allowed to feel these things and have these things, but there's nothing wrong with talking about it. Do you understand? A lot of the times, things don't get resolved because there hasn't been an open discussion. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Or your voice hasn't been heard. Do you get what I mean? I hope I'm making sense, guys, and I hope I'm not confusing you. But I just felt like when I heard Charlemagne the God say that, it just made me feel like, okay, what I'm feeling is only temporary. It can't always last always. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just like our problems don't last always. How about just stick it out and follow God? Do you understand what I'm saying? And if God is saying that, okay, Farah, not now, there's a reason. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's a reason for why God is saying not now. And I had to be wholeheartedly honest with myself. I had to say to myself, okay, Farah, you haven't heard from God regarding the case of A to say, okay, this chapter needs to be closed. You've not heard that from God.
The door is closed, but we good. The door is closed. The door is closed.
Neither have you heard from God to say that, okay, with A, stick it out. Do you get what I'm saying? When you're in that situation where you've not heard to close that chapter and you've not heard to remain in that chapter, sometimes it's just best to stay silent and stay still, stay where you are.
Sit your ass down there.
So that you can be able to hear God. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So yes, I just felt like I was just so confused, but I feel like I'm having a better understanding. I feel like I understand more, you know. I've also learned that sometimes, let me tell you something, sometimes the devil likes to play games, and he likes to play games a lot. The Bible says in John 10:10, where it says that the devil has come to steal, kill and destroy, but God has come to give us life and life abundantly. Do you understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm learning that the devil likes to play games, and sometimes the devil likes to use people to attack you. They like to use people to hurt you, to cause you pain and stuff like that. And a part of me just felt like, you know what, at the time I was thinking to myself like, I understand that the devil likes to use people, but if the devil wants to use those type of people, I'm not here for it.
Not on my watch.
And I'm just ready to just go and do what I gotta do. Do you understand? And that's the way I just kind of saw it, because I'm a firm believer in protecting your space. I'm a firm believer in doing what's right for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? And not just doing things for sentimental reasons. I'm just a firm believer in that. Do you understand? But I'm also seeing that at the end of the day, listen, what is for you needs to be for you. And if God is saying that you shouldn't close this chapter because of what's going on right now, just stick it out. Do you understand? You never know what's going to be on the other side. And that's why I said that in my message, that God is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. So therefore, he knows every single thing that is going to happen. He knows what's going to happen from a minute from now, from an hour from now, 24 hours from now, 48 hours, the whole yards. He knows. Do you understand? So I'm just learning that sometimes we just have to be still and we have to be silent. And sometimes we just cannot make permanent decisions on temporary feelings. We just can't do it. It doesn't make sense to. Another thing that made me think like, this chapter's not closed yet. Okay, I know you're checking out B. B's looking hella sexy. B's looking hella good and everything like that. But yes, you're going to pursue it. But, you know, just chill. You understand? I realized that this chapter hasn't closed yet because I saw a message after when I heard Charlemagne say what he had to say. And funny enough, I feel like God can speak to you in the craziest ways. You understand? Because listen, I was watching Donkey of the Day. Okay, he was giving somebody Donkey of the Day, and he was talking about the bill, the fund bill that was for the 9/11 victims. I can't remember the name of the Senate, but he didn't want to pass on the bill, or he didn't want to fund the bill, or something like that. And yeah, and that's where he said that you cannot make permanent decisions based off temporary feelings. And then when I got off of the Breakfast Club, I went onto my Instagram, and the first thing that I saw, was this. And I saw this. It says, one day you will tell someone how you got out of what you're currently going through, and they'll use it as their survival guide. Some battles are for those coming behind you. Win so they don't have to deal with the unfinished combat. And I believe when they say unfinished combat, it means they don't have to deal with the unfinished work. Do you understand what I'm saying? A lot of us don't know this, but we inspire so many people. Do you understand? People are looking at us. People are watching you. Do you understand what I'm saying? They may not say anything to you. They may not say that you inspire them. They may not say that you encourage them. Do you understand what I'm saying? There are some silent watchers out there. Like, listen, a lot of the times I used to say, hey yo, this ain't keeping up with the Kardashians, you know. If you're my friend, you're my friend. If you're not my friend, duck out, yeah? But I'm learning that at the end of the day, it's all love. Do you get what I'm saying? But yes, there are some silent watchers, and there are some people who are impressed, are inspired by how you manage things, and by how you tackle things, by how you win, or how you change a loss into a win. Do you understand? And that just made me think, okay, Farah, this quote, how are you going to apply it to plan A? Is it not better to just stick it out and say, okay, you don't like what's going on right now, yada, yada, but stick it out. You never know what may come out of this. You never know if somebody else is going through it, and then, you know, they're like, okay, I know Farah went through so and X, Y, B, blah, blah, blah. I can get through it. Do you understand? Like I've said many times on my channel, whereby I look at other people, at other influencers, at other YouTubers or other preachers, where I'm just like, okay, they've been through certain things that I've been through, and look where they are today. That's the goal right there. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you don't know if somebody's doing that for your life. So sometimes whatever battle you're facing, whatever trouble you're going through, whatever problem you're going through, know for sure that there's an expiry date, but also know for sure that that battle, you're not just winning it for yourself, you're winning it for somebody else. You're doing it so that you can encourage another life. You're doing it because you're not discouraging the person behind you who may probably go through the same thing that you went through. There's this saying, yeah, where they say there's nothing new under the sun, and I totally believe that. You are not the only problem, because sometimes in life, yeah, we feel like we're the only person that's going through one issue. Yeah, we're the only one that we feel like sometimes we're the only person that's going through an issue or something like that. But let me tell you something, everybody's going through one issue or the other, okay? Get it right. And sometimes some people, you'll be surprised, some people, look how many people are in the world, okay, in the earth. You mean to tell me that you're the only person that's going through that only particular issue? No, there's millions of us that's going through the same issue. Do you understand? It's just that sometimes, a lot of the times when we're going through, we don't really like to speak out. We don't really like to talk about it. You understand? But another thing that's coming to me now, that's coming to my mind, is this. This year, I made a conscious decision that I cannot run away from my problems. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, and I guess, you know, why this thing was affecting me or hurting me or whatever was because a lot of the times I just couldn't understand why it's happening. Do you understand? But something that somebody said to me was that until you learn how to deal with that situation, different things will come up again. Will come up, and it can come up in different forms. It can come up in different ways. Do you understand what I'm saying? Until you pass that test, baby girl, you gotta hold on. Do you understand? So even though now I go on to say this, and I'm going to close it here. Sometimes when you're ready to move, sometimes God is like, girl, you better sit your ass down. Do you understand? And I feel like that's what God is telling me. God is telling me, listen, I'm not through with you here. I know you want to close this chapter so bad, but not yet. Not just yet. There's something here. And yeah, I guess speaking to you guys, that's what I wanted to tell you guys. And even speaking to you guys, it's encouraged me, you know, it's made me think a lot actually. And yeah, I hope this video has made sense. I hope you guys are loving my consistency. Listen, let me tell you something, yeah. If nobody's watching my videos, let me tell you something, I'm still going to be posting, because one day you guys might have to pay for it to see my video, okay? It's funny that we say this and it actually happens. So yes, I love you guys for watching. Be sure to subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.